Hi, today I'm going to be testing out a couple of new products from Bait-Tech. It's an overcast day and I think it's going to be really good for bream. So I'm really excited and I can't wait to get fishing, so I hope you can't. Right, I've chosen my peg and I'm going to show you why I think this is a really good peg, not just for bream but for, well, every fish. This is because I know from fishing here in the past, it's quite weedy about 20 metres out. So fish will feel comfortable feeding over a weed area, and it also shelves off. Fish like to feed off shelves, so that's why it's a good feeder peg. It's also a good peg for fishing the pole, because you've got a feature close in, and I know it's fairly deep down in the margins, and it's about 3 foot, which is a comfortable depth for big fish to feed close in. As long as you keep quiet, you should catch them down there steadily. So let's get my gear set up and I'll run you through the setups I'm using today. 2 new baits from Bait-Tech are the N-Tice range. I've got the N-Tice Polony luncheon meat. I've opened the tin at home. Never open your tins on the bank, because you know how annoying it is when you see tins left behind. I've punched some and I've cubed some, and I've torn some up to make it look rough and natural. Moving on, we've got the N-Tice meaty mix, which is for big fish, specimen fish, carp, bream and barbel. It's a mix that's very meaty and really smells, and I'm hoping the fish will like it here today. So let me show you how to mix it up. Right, so the N-Tice meaty mix complements the N-Tice luncheon meat. So I'm going to mix that up. Just cut the corner of it off with scissors. Don't use your teeth. Put it down there for scraps. You can see the colour of that looks absolutely perfect, and it really stands out off the bottom. So I'm going to mix up half a bag, because I'm only fishing for, say, 3 hours today. And you can see that it's a nice mix, which smells really meaty. That's why it's called the meaty mix. Right. The next stage is to add water. I've got some water in my bait bowl. Just put little bits at a time and just mix it vigorously to let the air get into the ground bait. Keep adding water until it's at the right consistency. You can use this meaty mix for paste sometimes, so keep mixing it. And then I can make some nice balls like that to put in the cage feeder. Nice solid balls, but when that hits the bottom, it breaks up and leaves a patch of brown bait on the bottom. Right, now I'm going to put in a couple of bits of luncheon meat that were scraps. Just tear it up so it looks rough. This just adds more scent and something for the bream to actually eat and feed on. So put some of them in. Don't need to be any certain size, some big, some small. Right, mix them in. I prefer not to sieve my ground baits. Don't think it makes a difference. Next thing is I'm going to put a little bit of sweet corn in here for visual. Bream love particles. So just mix that in, and you can see you can just make some nice balls of ground bait. That breaks up on the bottom, makes a big cloud on the way down, and there's 1 or 2 particles for the fish to munch on. So that's how I mix the N-Tice meaty mix from Bait-Tech. So let's see how it performs on the bank. Right, I'm going to have a couple of casts out to get a bed of bait down there for the bream. Just taking my hook off so I don't get in any tangles, and if I do hit the island I can't really lose anything. So just tightly squeeze that in so it doesn't fall out. And there it is, fairly big feeder. We're casting out a fairway. So I'm just going to throw that out. My aim is the edge of the other island. So cast it out. That's absolutely perfect. Right, leave it to settle for a little bit. Just put it in the rest. Right, just give it time to break down. Make sure all the bait's out of the feeder. Then you're ready to reel in. Get some more out. So, let's do that. It's about 4 foot deep out there, which is a fairly nice depth for bream. Right, the bait's probably settled now. So just lift it up, make sure it comes out. Sink the line. Let the feeder settle. And then all the bait should dispose out of the cage feeder. My marker is the other side, the other island to the left, and right at the edge of it. Because I'm comfortable hitting that every time, so my bait is accurate. Right, the bait's all settled out. Make sure it's out of the feeder. Number 7, and I think that's about it. Just off the island again. Cast it out, just hit the clip.